Great, so this is a quick walkthrough of the release that we just shipped that includes new rec workspaces, the ability to contact referrers integrated into the workflow, profile notes, and new Twitter profiles. So one of the kind of big things that beta users have been asking for was the ability to kind of separate their workflow for different recs, right? So for example, if you're hiring a product manager versus a PHP engineer versus a VP of mobile business development, wanted to be able to have separate workspaces where starred profiles, saved for later, or hidden profiles were respected within that. So say for example, we were doing a search for a mobile engineer, iOS, right? We could go ahead and do that, and if we wanted to, we could check off any of the kind of pre-set queries associated with this to help us. We're going to go ahead and create this rec. Cool, and so now we're working this right now. And so the workflow, let's go ahead and grab that Boolean query there. So here we are in our mobile engineer rec, and as we're going through, we can look at people who might be interesting. So this gentleman right here works at Square, so he might be interesting. So we just starred him for follow-up, and when you start people for follow-up, they go into your favorite resumes. Again, for this rec workspace, I'm looking for an engineer, so Chief Product Officer is not interesting, so I can hide him. Yeah, you look interesting. Right? I can leave notes, so for example, too senior for the mobile dev role, Pete. Then hide him, for instance. Okay, here's a iOS engineer right here, great. And then later, what I can do is you can see that here are my favorited profiles that I can then follow up with. For example, using our new integrated contact feature, where now what I can do is I can reach out to the colleague who is connecting me. In this case, Peter Kazanji is the person who contributed Tristan O'Tierney's profile to this TalentBin. I can go ahead and send a note to them, BCCing myself if I wanted to in order to keep track of that. And that way, I can easily start that conversation to see if Tristan might be interesting for us to talk to. So that right there is rec workspaces. You can create new ones or you can switch between the different ones. So that was rec workspaces, integrated contact, and also profile notes. And a new functionality that we've added is Twitter profiles as well. So for example, I can look at the first round of capital, and you can see that some Twitter profiles, which right now are kind of sparse, but we're working on functionality to upgrade them with more interesting keywords based on the person's tweets, show up here in our TalentBin. So these are all Twitter profiles right here. You can click out to the Twitter profile if you want, the same way that you can click out to a LinkedIn or a Facebook profile that has been contributed. So that's the quick walkthrough. The big kind of features in this release were the rec workspaces, so the ability to have different workspaces depending on what you're working on that have their starred profiles, starred and hidden profiles specific to that workspace. So you can go through and kind of work through all the resumes for that workspace, profile notes, and also integrated contact and Twitter profiles. So I hope you enjoy. Let me know if you have any questions.